Analysts at PFI Capital expect profit taking to persist as investors look to lock in gains from previous trading sessions. Olumide Sole, investment analyst at PFI Capital, joins me now for more equities market updates ahead of the forthcoming polls. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today, Olumide.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we've had this bearish sentiment linger on, and this is hinged on the profit taking on large cap stocks at this point in time. However, interestingly, at midday today, we saw the sentiment lift a little bit towards the green, about 0.03%. What do you think might likely play out in the coming days as we're also counting down to the polls? It's barely 48 hours and investors are taking position.
Yes, throughout the week, we've seen profit taking, especially in large cap stocks, as investors continue to lock in gains. However, that has also given opportunity for investors to giving investors bargain hunting opportunities.
Yeah.
So as a result of that, that's why we can see some sort of bullish sentiment within into the market during this week. However, investors will also be cautious in terms of because of the gubernatorial election coming up, as investors watch the outcome and the process of the election to ensure that political risks subside.
And also talking about company news as well, now we're expecting first quarter analysis and also reports to come into bear. We've just had a couple of reports looking at the full year for 2022 and a whole lot more, and that has also informed investors' decision on whether or not to invest in Nigeria. But now, talking about company news, we're also seeing Nestle SA acquire about 90.3 billion naira shares in the Nigerian subsidiary here. We're also seeing the NTC say that, well, we're also seeing our telcos being able to take the surge in demand in terms of e-transactions. How do you see these numbers play out in terms of stock performances?
Yes, definitely it would impact stock performances positively.
And just to butt in here a little bit as well, at midweek we only saw the insurance sector also be the sole gainer as well.
That has majorly been on the back of the insurance sector has recorded sell-off year to date. I think the year-to-date performance is in red. So as a result of that, it has given investors definitely some, like I said, once we see sell-off across equities, we'll likely see bargain hunting. It gives investors bargain hunting opportunities to take in positions from mispricing that might have occurred from previous investors that have sold off the stocks. So as a result of that, that's why we'll likely see the insurance sector weathering the storm or being the outlier this week. And for the that's for the MTN and the others that are looking at their financial transactions that will increase due to the cash crunch that is currently the country is currently experiencing, which will definitely impact the earnings of these companies, and which will also definitely impact the stock performance of this.
Well, thankfully, we've also seen the CBN also issued a statement in line with the Supreme Court's judgment, so that's expected to ease that crunch that we've seen so far. But talking about crunch as well, now we are seeing what is playing out, especially within the space of FX management. Now, the CBN has also slashed the PTA and BTA by about 50%. Now we have an allocation of just about $2,000 twice a year rather than the $4,000 quarterly. How are investors responding to the money market dynamics that's played out?
We have not seen so much reaction on that in the FX market regarding that yet. Especially, but what is certain definitely is that investors that are not, that people that are not able to meet their demand at that window will definitely go to the parallel market to get foreign currencies for their whatever transactions they are looking to do. So that will likely increase demand. We'll see some increased demand for foreign currencies, which will definitely impact the naira negatively. But not now currently, but later on in the...
And demand has always outweighed supply. That's been our narrative. But talking about looking into the crystal ball, now come next week, the MPC is meeting. And in your own prediction, you expect that we'll likely see about a 50 basis point rate hike in the MPR. Some are saying the CBN might likely leave it unchanged. But for the fact that we're seeing an upward pressure in the inflationary pressure, that would call for a bigger need to heighten?
Yes, definitely. From the body language of the CBN and MPC, we've seen that they are all bent on hiking interest rates. That's going hawkish as long as inflation continues to remain heightened. So definitely based on that, we can say that the CBN will likely continue its rate hike to be able to stem inflationary
But
pressures.
might not be as aggressive as we've seen.
But not as aggressive as we've seen.
Okay.
But however, that inflation in Nigeria has been more of a cost push. It has been more cost push.
When do you think we'll likely see a moderation?
We'll likely see a moderation for March.
Okay.
By then March.
We're already in March.
March already.
Well, thank you so much for your time on the show today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Olumide. That was Olumide Sole, investment analyst at PFI Capital.